Hello, card runners. This is GrindMentality coming at you with UlDuffer for the final part 4 of the hand history review of the €100 Sunday special on PokerStars.fr. We've got some more hands to get into than we normally do, so we're going to try to move this right along. We get Ace-Queen suited here, and you are going to flat on EP open. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think we could go either way here. We could 3-bet call, but it's a little bit aggressive since we have 30 bigs now. This guy's opening from early position, and yeah, it's getting close to the final table bubble, and his early position opens pretty tight, 2 of 15. So I decided to just flat here and keep in the weaker part of his range, weaker ace-x, and it's suited too, so it plays pretty well.
Yeah, I think Ace-Queen suited plays plenty well post-flop, and plus you're probably going to get into a heads-up position, or a heads-up pot in position, which is always ideal.
Yeah, not much to say about it. Plus, we didn't have any, 3-bet dynamic where he could, give me too much credit for 3-betting him light when he opens under the gun.
Absolutely. And it comes Ace-5 Jack with 2 hearts, and he leads out into you.
Yeah, so it's pretty standard on the flop. We have near the top of our range. He's going to be betting this flop with pretty much everything, both value and bluffs. So we're just going to call.
Yeah, no need to raise.
Reevaluate turn.
No need to raise, obviously. And you go ahead and flat. And on the turn, you get pretty much brick. So 4 of diamonds, and he is going to lead into you again. At this point, what are your options and what is your plan?
Well, I think the only option is to flat here. I don't really see much point in raising. He's opening under the gun. I mean, he's repping this board. This board hits his range more so than our flatting range. So I'm just going to call and reevaluate the river. It's getting to the point now where I call this bet. It's going to be like a pot-sized bet on the river. So we're going to have to come in on some rivers for sure.
What is your plan in general on, say, like a brick river? What is your plan in general? Do you have a plan at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to call down on a lot of bricks.
Okay.
Depending on the sizing.
Absolutely.
But at this point, we're just going to call and see what happens. I mean, he's going to be barreling this turn. He can barrel this turn with, all gut shots, king 10, king queen, trying to fold out, jack X's that we have. Or maybe, we decided to flat with a pocket pair and peel one on the flop. I mean, it's unlikely, but, yeah, we're just going to call again. He's going to have enough barrels in his range here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. And then the river comes a king of clubs, which is not necessarily a brick.
No, it's not a brick at all. I mean, I felt like when he gets to the river here, he's going to have a pair the majority of the time, and a lot of stuff got there with this king. If he's barreling king 10 or king queen and stuff like that, he's going to have made a pair by the river. So when he bets 375 into 642, I don't beat a whole pint at this point.
So what are your thoughts on his sizing are what exactly? I guess what I'm trying to ask you is, are you more apt to call necessarily if he jams because you feel like he's just trying to push you off your hand? Or does that 375 indicate anything to you?
I feel like it's for value. It definitely could be a bluff, but I felt like it was for value. But no, I'm not going to call more or less if he jams the river here. Maybe I'll call more, but not really.
Marginal difference, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unless he's barreling something like king 10 or king queen and decides to turn that king into a bluff on the river, which is very rare. I think we're beat here a lot of the time. I think we just have to give him credit. We don't beat ace jack, we don't beat ace king. I can't see him betting ace 10 3 streets like this. So what do we beat, We beat a random flush draw. Or some no equity hand that decided we're just going to go to work and 3-barrel here.
A
lot of those hands have a pair by the river.
Absolutely, and I also agree with you when we were talking about this spot off the vid, that there are definitely hands like king queen of hearts or King Jack of Hearts that have now gotten showdown value that aren't going to try to turn it into a bluff. I feel like most players are going to check there even though they know their king is not good.
A lot of the time, that's for sure, yeah. That's a mistake a lot of people make, is that they're like, oh, I hit the king, I check, I've got showdown, when they know deep down that they're probably losing to ace-x. But I think king x is probably just going to check at the off chance that we have jack x. And like I say, it's not many players like turn king x into bluff here. Like the very best players might.